my name is Donna Speed. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a 5-foot white woman with brown hair in my late 40s. I didn't know that we were going to share that today, but that's fine. I'm wearing a blue suit and wearing red trainers and a red cardigan. And I have the privilege of being the Chief Executive for We the Curious. And we've had a difficult few years, and I'm going to share with you some of those experiences that we've had and the learnings of the power of purpose that we've taken from these. So, what is We the Curious? We are an educational charity and a science centre that first opened in 2000, along with Millennium Science Centres that was a UK-wide initiative. We have 2 floors filled with incredible interactive science exhibits, various shows and demonstration spaces, a 3D planetarium that you can see here looking a bit like a disco ball, teaching labs, workshop spaces, a venue hire suite, a shop, a cafe, and outdoor spaces. And for the first 15 years, we were called At Bristol. But at 15, like many teenagers, we started to think about our identity and who and what we were for, but crucially, what we could be for in the future. We carried out a huge piece of community research, asking visitors, staff, our members, people who had never heard of us or never visited, community groups, key partners and peers, what they wanted and needed from their future science centre. We had 1,000 responses, and the message was super clear. Our audiences told us that they wanted us to stay interactive. They didn't want us to be just for children. They wanted us to be collaborative, and not just with our partners, but also with them. They wanted us to go beyond science, to be a space where science meets art, where ideas from different disciplines can come together. They asked us to be challenging, to confront stereotypes, introduce bold ideas, and take a stand where it mattered. And they asked us to change our name. So we collected over 400 suggestions for a new name, and none of them were really resonating with our audiences. But then we had the realization that it shouldn't be named, it shouldn't be named on the place, but more it should be for the people. So after much more positive testing, we changed our name from At Bristol to We the Curious. We had a really clear mandate for change from our audiences. So following the 2015 consultation, it took 2 years of work to shape and launch our new direction, complete with a new name, a new vision, mission, values, strategic priorities, key pledges, and a manifesto, all developed with our teams and our city. And this is our vision. It unites us as an organisation, and everyone stands behind it. Imagine a world where everyone is included, curious, and inspired by science to make a better world. What I didn't realise at the time is that this would help navigate us and be our North Star, really, during quite challenging times. As part of our new direction, we also launched a bold project to create an exhibition shaped entirely by the curiosity of our city. And in 2017 and 18, we took this Curiosity Cube to every postcode in Bristol, and we collected over 10,000 questions. And from those 10,000 questions, our community partners selected 7 beautiful, thought-provoking questions that would inspire the new exhibition, Project What If? Their voices helped shape everything from concept to content. And we were just about to begin installation when COVID hit. And we were faced with quite a difficult decision to continue and to navigate into the unknown, or to press pause and risk losing the trust and the momentum that we had built with our community. And we chose to continue. And it felt like we had moved mountains. As an example, despite the restrictions on international travel, our European exhibit builders managed to come over from the Netherlands to install the exhibition. And while completing and installing our new exhibition felt like a huge achievement, the reality of COVID really hit us hard. We're not an accredited museum or a frontline charity, so we didn't receive the emergency funding that many of our peers rightfully relied on to survive. So to reopen, we had to make significant savings, and this included some redundancies. And in an extraordinary show of solidarity, every member of staff reduced their working days in order to save jobs across the charity. Everyone pulled together beautifully. And so coming out of COVID, we reopened gently. Keeping our visitors and teams safe meant that we rebuilt our capacity carefully and at the speed of trust. So approaching the new financial year in April 2022, we had planned to give our teams back with huge gratitude the hours that they had reduced, the days they had reduced. We were ready to be at full capacity, hours restored, feeling really optimistic on the year ahead, our year of rebuild. And it was that week that a fire broke out on our roof. And I remember driving down to the venue and seeing the plumes of black smoke and just thinking, it's gone, it's all gone. But because of the swift action from the teams and from the emergency services, no one was hurt, and the fire was mainly contained to the roof. But the water used to extinguish the fire flooded the venue. It was devastating damage, but again, we turned to our vision. We knew we needed to be there for our audiences. We didn't have a venue anymore, but we did have a purpose, and we had a team ready to deliver. So for us, it was no question. We had to honour the hours and back our teams in the way that they had backed the charity. They pivoted immediately. We got some electric vans, and they bobbed out to every postcode in Bristol again, to venues, festivals, libraries, places of worship, anyone that would take us, school takeovers. And we built on those connections across the city, continuing to forge those relationships and build our brilliant community. And what is brilliant about community is that it works both ways. It was the unexpected, incredible part of this whole experience, how much our community supported us as part of this. There was a lovely couple who were due to be married on the day of the fire, and their wedding had already been postponed twice because of COVID. And we were immediately offered alternative venues. So they had their reception at the Bristol Hotel, and they had their after party at Bristol Old Vic Theatre. And the firefighters managed to rescue some personal belongings and the cake. And you can see them here transporting the cake round the corner to where the party was just starting. And it didn't stop there. We were inundated with offers of help. Literally hundreds of people across the city and beyond, including our friends at Tessitura, supporting us in many ways, offers of meeting rooms, office spaces, and donations of pocket money. Many of the people were struggling themselves. In fact, one of the challenges during that time was to say thank you to everybody who were offering support and well wishes. And this is a really lovely example. This is from Jack, age 7, who sent us a card with some seeds. And he says, for the Science Museum, here is some seed sticks for you to cheer you up from the fire. By the way, sorry about the fire. And there's a picture of Jack making an animation on our first floor with some Lego. And this is the type of example of the messages that we received from our visitors that really helped motivate us on tough days. And it's a brilliant example of the power of community. The money from these donations helped to fund Project Phoenix, which paid for changes across the venue, including introducing a quiet room and a multi-faith room as well. And this is an image that is on a wall close to where I live, and it really served as a reminder that we would emerge from this stronger than ever. Our reinstatement following the fire was a huge multi-million-pound project, and it spanned over 2 years. But we were committed to also progress those pledges that we'd made in our manifesto. So as an example of that, we now no longer have fossil fuel in line with our goals to decarbonise. And in the lead up to our reopening, we had a citywide treasure hunt, and you could really feel the kind of excitement, and the city really got behind us. It was great fun, but it also helped us reconnect with our audiences and to spark that curiosity. And it was clear that people had missed the space and that they were ready to be part of what's next. And finally, after 2 years, 2 months and 22 days, we reopened in July 2024. And this is the moment that our first school were welcomed back, and the children were delighted but quite bemused at why we were clapping at them, trying not to cry. And there was one boy towards the end who came in and just said, well, this is awkward. And we have been pretty much sold out since we reopened. Our audiences are back and have really supported us in the most incredible ways. The 5 years have tested us in ways that we would never have imagined. But what's carried us through every fire, every flood, every pivot has been the unwavering belief in our vision and in each other. I've seen what's possible when an organisation leads together, when it puts people first, and when it invites curiosity in, even in the hardest moments. What these experiences have taught me is this: when you lead with purpose, it doesn't just help you navigate challenges, it becomes your compass through the unknown. When you share your purpose openly and trust your audiences and communities enough to take the journey with you, the most unexpected and beautiful things can happen. Purpose isn't just a statement on a wall. It's something you live. It's something you fight for. And if you really mean it, it has the power to bring you home. Thank you.